Welcome Algebra 1 students to lesson 46. We're going to talk about conjunctions. Now, with conjunctions, we are talking about solution sets on a number line. So for instance, we know how to graph if we have something along the lines of this right here. We have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, and we're asked to graph that x is greater than 5. We know how to do that. We just circle the 5 and we say all the numbers to the right. That's x is greater than 5. Easy. We know how to do that. Y'all are doing that great. So what if we have two conditions for x that overlap? What happens then? Well, let's see. What if we have a condition where x is greater than 5 and x is also less than 10? And how would that look on a number line? Well, let's draw our number line and see what that would look like. So let's start with, let's do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just for the heck of it. All right, so if x is greater than 5, and there's no equal sign here, we want to circle 5 and go this way, right, to the side that's greater. But we can't go all the way because x is also less than this number. So x is less than 10, so we would circle 10 and we would go this way. And what we would do is we would just let those lines meet in the middle. And that's how we would graph that. But we would write it a little bit different than this. What we would do is we would line them up. We would line the x's up. So we take the number that is the highest, where x would be to the left of it. X is less than. That's when we put on top. And then we want to flip the x. We want to put the smallest number, which in this case is 5. Here, x is 5 is less than x. So we have these two things that are true. We know that 5 is less than x because this says that x is greater than 5. So saying that 5 is less than x is the same thing. It's just the flip. We just flip the sign. So now we can draw a line underneath and we can bring it all down, just like adding it together in a problem. We just put x on top of each other and it lines up perfectly so that we can say that 5 is less than x, which is less than 10. That's how we write it. This is how we graph it. All right, this is 46.1. Let's look at another one. Let's do 46.2. What we want to do is graph the solution, and that's what they call them, the solution of -2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 4. So we draw ourselves a nice little number line here. Trying to draw myself a nice little number line. And I start with -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We switch over to get a different pen so it's a little bit easier to see. So if 2 is less than x, we have to just draw a circle around it. And we want to go this way. Well, x is less than or equal to 4. So we circle 4, but because of this equal, it can also be 4. And we want to go this way until they meet in the middle. And that's how we would graph that. So whatever number is on the left is going to be, whatever the smallest number is on the number line is going to be on the left. And the bigger number is going to be on the right, and x is going to be what's in the middle. and that is a conjunction. It's just where your set has more than one condition. It has to be just within a certain range of numbers. So think about the data that we looked at in the previous lesson. If we talked about test grades, and we talked about a range of test grades, this would be how we would graph that. If we were to say that our range of test grades was between 70 and 93, right, we would say that our test grades were 70 would be less than or equal to X, which would be less than or equal to 93. And then we would draw a little number line, and we would put like 69, and then we would put 70, and then we would put like 94, and we would put like 93. And then because this is less than or equal to, we would fill in our dot. This is less than or equal to, we would fill in our dot, and we would say all the numbers in between. That is the range of these grades from here to here. All right, it's the same thing. You just take the lowest number and the highest number, and that's your range. This is explaining the range of data. That's what a conjunction is. All right, so let's move on to 46.3. We are asked to look at this number line right here. And we are asked to describe the conjunction of this graph. All right, so I'm going to use my red pen and illustrate the conjunction. So we have a -5 here, and the circle is filled in. And then we have a circle around 0. And then we have a line between the two. So our conjunction is going to look like this. We have X in the middle. It's these. We have -5 on this side, and we have 0 on this side. You follow me so far? So now we put our less than and our less than. If this circle is filled in, we also put a line underneath it. This circle is open, so there is nothing else done here. That is how we would write that. That is the easiest way to do it. You put your lowest number here, your highest number here, X in the middle, less than, and then look to see which circles are filled in. If the circle on this side is filled in, you put in the equal sign, the less than or equal to. If it's open, you just leave it open. Okay? All right, I think we're getting the hang of this. Let's do 46.4. Let's see what that one says. All right, this one says to write a conjunction that designates the numbers that are greater than -1 and less than or equal to +5. So let's start with a number line. I don't know why my arrow is always just way off. So let's start by, let's do a -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yada, yada, yada. All right, so we need to circle the 1. Let me get a different color. Circle the 1, circle the 5. Now, let's look at this. Greater than -1. All right, that's all it says. It doesn't say equal to. So we leave that an open circle. And we know we're going to draw a line between these two circles, right? It's less than or equal to, so we fill in the circle of 5, right? Now we write our conjunction, and all we do is we write -1, +5, X in the middle, less than, Open, so there's nothing underneath. Closed, so we fill this one in too. Okay? So -1 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 5. And there we go. That's how we would write that. All right, and that is all we have for lesson 46. Man, they are getting easier and easier, guys. All right, that's all I have for this lesson. I will see you in lesson 47.